Okay, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about a feeling that is so incredibly common, but at the same time, feels so deeply personal: loneliness.
But what if the way we've been thinking about loneliness is just all wrong? This quote here hints at something much deeper. It suggests that loneliness isn't about how many people are around you, but about a lack of authenticity. And that idea, that's what we're going to unpack right now.
I mean, seriously, think about it. Have you ever been there? You're at a party, you're hanging out with a group of people you genuinely like, and yet you feel this weird, hollow sense of being completely by yourself.
If that sounds familiar, trust me, you are not the only one. It's this bizarre paradox, right? Being surrounded by people, but feeling totally disconnected. It's confusing, it can be painful, but it's a deeply shared human experience.
But here's the good news. We are not the first people to wrestle with this. In fact, there's this really powerful idea from over a century ago that gives this whole struggle a name and perfectly explains why it happens. It's called the Porcupine Dilemma. And honestly, understanding this might just change the way you look at your relationships and yourself forever.
So this metaphor comes from a philosopher named Arthur Schopenhauer. He wanted us to picture a group of porcupines out in the freezing cold. To survive, they desperately need to huddle up together to stay warm. But of course, when they get too close, their sharp quills start pricking each other. Ouch.
And that is just a brilliant picture of what it's like to be human. On one side, we have this deep biological need for closeness, for connection. We crave it. But on the other side, there's the fear. The fear that getting close means we have to be vulnerable, that we might get hurt by someone else's quills. Their judgments, their rejection, their indifference.
So this puts us in this impossible little dance. We get close, we risk pain, and so we pull back. But when we stay too far apart, we feel that cold, isolating loneliness. And this constant push and pull, that is the engine that drives that feeling of being alone in a crowded room. So, if this whole dilemma is basically universal, what's the most important thing to get from all of this? The crucial point is that this struggle is not your fault. It doesn't mean you're broken or you're bad at making friends. It is not some kind of personal flaw that you need to fix. It is a fundamental, totally unavoidable part of being a social creature that needs other social creatures. We are all just porcupines trying to find some warmth without getting hurt. And once you realize that, everything changes. Because it means the goal can't be to somehow build a life where you never get pricked by the quills. Trying to avoid all potential pain just guarantees you'll stay out in the cold forever. The real way forward, the way to find that genuine warmth that we're all looking for, is about finding the courage to be authentic, to show up as you actually are. That's the key that unlocks this whole thing. Because real connection, real warmth, it just can't happen with a performance. It can't happen with a version of you that doesn't really exist. So what does that actually look like? Well, it means showing your true self, your real opinions, your quirks, your quills, and everything. It means making the choice to risk vulnerability because you get that it's the only path to a true connection. It's about deciding to move past the safe, surface-level small talk and share something real. And that really brings us to the end. But in a way, it's also a starting point for you. So I'll just leave you with this one thing to think about. What's one small way you could lower your quills just a little bit and be more authentic today?